You can do your entire rotation now with a single button. Is the game now for stupid, dumb idiots? Hello, it's me, Crendor, a stupid, dumb idiot. Here I am to talk about the one button PTR thing that's happening right now. Everybody's talking about it. It is a single button assistant. Now, if you play WoW, you already know there's add-ons that pretty much do this for you anyway. In fact, one of the add-ons, like the He-Killy or whatever, I don't even remember what it's called. It's something like that. I downloaded it a while ago. I forgot I even had it. I just assumed it was like part of the UI because I'm a stupid, dumb idiot. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I have that add-on that tells me how to play the game. And now Blizzard is trying to do something similar. So let's read about what they're adding in here, because I feel like a lot of people are taking this a little too far, which I know, right? The internet taking things too far, insane. So we've got in the Legacy of Aerithor PTR, there are two new ways to interact with the game: the single button assist and the assisted highlight mode. These are designed to help new players who are trying out new specs, or those looking for additional guidance on ability usage. So right away, we have the target demographic for what they're trying to hit. People trying out new specs, which makes sense. You don't know how to play it, so you're getting some help in learning it. New players who have no idea what they're doing. And then people just looking for additional guidance on ability usage. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? So, like, already I'm like, okay, that makes sense. People, I think, are already acting like, I don't even have to play the game anymore. It's just, I hit the button. Next, it's going to move for me. And then I'll just, you know, sit here like eating Cheetos and fading away, right? So it's an overreaction, I think. And the thing is, we already have add-ons that do this anyway. It's not like that much is changing, right? If people wanted to do this, they just get an add-on that does it. So Blizzard's just kind of adding in their own version of it. So these new modes only manage your damaging spells and are primarily designed to be used by damage specs. Both will still function if you try them out as a tank or healer, but they will only cycle through your damage abilities, not any of your healing spells or survival abilities. So that's another critical thing in the reading process we've arrived at, which is it's only damage. So if you're a tank or a healer, you still have to tank and heal. And like the whole point of the damaging is that you're still like moving, you're still having to dodge stuff, you still have to, you know, play the game. It's not like it's standing there just hitting one button. In fact, Classic WoW, that's what you were doing half the time. When I played my Warlock in Classic WoW, I was just like, Shadow Bolt, Shadow Bolt, Shadow Bolt. I'm essentially playing with one button mode. Anyway, as with the new cooldown manager added in 11.1.5 update, these will continue to evolve over time. Okay. Single button assist. It is a new spell you can click and drag to your action bar from the top right of your spell book and then use just like you would any other spell in your action bar. Single button assist will cycle through and prioritize a list of abilities your character knows and automatically uses them against your current target. See the full list of abilities current spec will use. You can right click on the ability, looking at the top down. Using single button assistant will impose a penalty to your GCD. So it's going to make it take longer between abilities. So again, kind of reinforcing the fact that this is for new players and people trying to learn new specs, or people just playing like a class they don't normally play, like one of their alts, and they don't want to do like mythic plus rating. Like they're just trying to go out into the world and kill zebras. They just gotta hit one button and be like, okay, cool. Like this will actually make me play my monk. I hate playing monk because half the time I'm like, I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. I just don't like monk. And someone's gonna be like, just learn how to play monk then. I don't want to learn how to play monk. I don't like monk, so I'd rather do something else. But now maybe I'll actually play the monk, which I guess is just like monk gatekeeping at that point. Anyway, that's besides the point. Kind of, not really. Assisted highlight. The assisted highlight is slightly more advanced version of the single button assistant. To use this feature, you'll need to enable assist highlight option in the advanced options tab in the gameplay options menu. Assisted highlight doesn't automatically cycle through your abilities for you like the single button assistant does, but rather recommends a button to press for your next action by highlighting a button on your action bar with a green border. There's no penalty to the GCD for using this mode. So this is more just like the the assist, which is kind of like what the Hikili or whatever the add-on is, right? It's just telling you what to press. And that's probably what I would use more of, is just, it's telling me what to press, which I feel like most of the time, that's a great way to learn how to play your class. Just because the amount of times you play something new, right? People have so many alts nowadays. You have like an alt of every single class, and you hop on like your shaman, your elemental shaman. I don't know what the shit I'm doing. It's just, there's like so many buffs, so many things to press. In fact, half the time the add-on was telling me to press stuff that like I didn't even I was like, wait, I don't even have this on my bar. And then I do it. I'm like, I don't even know what this does. And then after a while, you just get used to it. And I'm like, wait, what does this do? And usually I would then look into it and be like, oh, okay, I see what this does now. And then at some point, you don't even need the add-on, but you still keep it on because it's like, at that point, it's like keeping the training wheels on your bike. Like, you can take the training wheels off, but sometimes I'm just the stupid, dumb idiot, man. I just don't want to think. I just want to do whatever I'm doing. I'm not really doing anything crazy competitive anyway, right? I'm not like doing intense raiding or whatever with this mode. I'm just like farming mounts. I'm doing like old content. I'm trying to get collective like pets and toys and shit, right? So like whatever, I don't care. Back to the article. Then design guidelines. The single button assisted and assisted highlight modes do a lot of things, but they will not fully play your character for you. There are several decisions we made about our expectations for what these functions perform or recommend for you. The single button assisted and assisted highlights mode will adjust abilities you know from changing talents and include them in the cycle of abilities used or highlighted. That's cool. I like that. Which it should do, I guess. Otherwise, it wouldn't be working. Swap between single target and AoE damage spells based on proximity of enemies near your target. That's actually pretty sick. That's a cool one. I like that. And then the single button assistant and highlight modes will not move your character around the world or use any mobility buttons like blink, sprint, or heroic leaps. That's cool. I like that. Change targets for you. If your target dies or you want to debuff multiple different enemies. Okay. So it's not even going to change the target. It's not like you can just stand there in a pack mob and be like, just like, or even have like the little bird. You know those little birds where they go like in The Simpsons where Homer puts it on the thing when he's trying to do the nuclear power plant. It's like, yes, 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 right? You can't do that on your mouse. Okay. So that's good. You still have to like play the game that way, which I would argue is one of the most primary ways of playing the game, like avoiding get out of the fire and stuff, right? And dodging abilities. Use major offensive cooldowns like Avenging Wrath, Bladestorm, or Ascendance. That's actually a big one because you could argue that those are a critical part of your DPS rotation. Like as an arms warrior, I'm using Bladestorm a lot, so it's not going to proc that. You have to do that on your own. Interrupt enemies or otherwise use utility or crowd control spells, which, let's be real, nobody's interrupting stuff anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's also big. Like, it's not going to kick the thing and interrupt its spellcast. So that's another aspect of the game that you have to learn how to do, which again is just teaching you. I think the main point here is that it's teaching you your like primary DPS rotation. Like that's its main function, I think. And so then once you kind of get that down, then you're like, okay, now I've got that in my muscle memory. I've got that in my subconscious. Now I can be like, oh, you know what? I'm supposed to kick here because I'm doing this. And then I'm like, bloop, kick. Right? And then I'm like, oh, and then I got to dodge out of here. So if anything, it's going to raise the baseline, I think, of the player base in things like LFR or just heroic dungeons, just like basic stuff up a bit. And like, I feel like that's what people want because people group up, be like, LFR's brain dead idiots. It's like, well, we gave the brain dead idiots a tool to help them out. And they're like, nah, I don't want that. Let's like pick one. Okay, so then where am I? Heal your low health character or use defensive abilities. Okay, so you still have to like pop potions, defense abilities, whatever. Use any trinkets, potions, trade skill items, or other similar items in your inventory. Okay. And then it's just feedback is appreciated. Thank you. So like already, I mean, I could just scroll down in the comments. Sorry, so there's going to be some guy being like, this is unbelievable. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people I can see why people get upset instinctively because you see like a one button rotation and then automatically you would assume like it's playing the game for you. I think that's what a lot of people assume, right? They think Blizzard's making it so you just play the game. It's like mobile games where you just click the button and it walks around and kills shit and keeps going, and then you're automatically playing the game, right? But that's not what this is. This feels like Blizzard is adding more tools to their limited toolbox that they've had for decades at this point, that add-ons have been kind of supplementing, right? People want something like a better user interface, so they go get add-ons, and it gives them a better user interface. People want things like damage meters, so they go get add-ons for damage meters. People want weak auras. People want a rotation helper, right? So they go get those things, and then there's add-ons for them, and people just do that. But then I'm actually happy that Blizzard's now like, hey, you know what? What if we added some of these add-ons that people created for convenience into the game, so that when new players come in, because clearly they've like struggled getting new players in for a long time, and they're trying to, you know, help that out, they won't have to like go figure out how to download add-ons and figure out which add-ons they need, and then figure out how to play their rotation while also learning all these other things. It's like, at least now you can have an ability or a way to just play through your rotation and be like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I have to use these buttons. And then maybe you graduate from the one button to the highlighted stuff. And then after that, you've learned how to play your class. And then you can like take the training wheels off and play. Or you don't have to if you don't want to. It's just like there's the option now. Like, it's not going to affect any intense hardcore rating, mythic plus rating. Nobody's going to be using the one button rotation mythic plus. There might be, but they're probably going to get yelled at, because they're going to get yelled at anyway by somebody. If there's one thing I know about this game, and video games in general online, it's that somebody will yell at you no matter what. So that's, I mean, I think it's good. And I thought I was crazy when I started reading a lot of people being like, this is outrage. I mean, it's also great for just accessibility. Maybe people have injuries, maybe, you know, listen, as we get older, somebody's gonna throw out their arm, and then they'll be like, can't use my arm, and then it's like, oh, now I got my one button rotation or something. Like, I saw a post, some guy was like holding his kid as he's like playing with one hand, right? Like, the WoW player base is old. We need help. So I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm glad they're doing it. I think it's been well overdue to add a lot of features that add-ons have given us into the base game as just like a convenience, right? So that's kind of my just opinion on it. But let me know your opinion down in the comments section below, because I'm sure there's many opinions, but that's just mine. So I just wanted to make a rant on this because I just wanted to. It's YouTube. I can do what I want. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see the latest pointless top 10, I'll put it up there. You go check it out. I believe it was Profession Trainers. You can also check out the latest WoW GeoGuessr. 41 minutes of me guessing where I am in World of Warcraft. Okay? Okay. See ya.